Hello and welcome. This is Cheryl A. Major with ThinStrongHealthy.com, and I want to welcome you to this edition of Ask Cheryl Anything. Today is March 9th, 2022, and it's currently snowing. I'm looking out my window and my computer says it's raining, but it's not, it's snowing. And with us today, we have my friend and colleague, Jen Spencer. And in the background, we have Rhonda Sprague, and they've joined us today. I'm so happy to see you both. And we may have other people joining us, but let's get started. Jen, I'm ready to field your questions. Hit me.
Okay, so is it just you and I right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, I'm gonna there'll be a replay. But ask me anything.
Okay, so I am in my 50s, and I've never really struggled with my weight or anything like that, but I've noticed in the last 3 years, I'm struggling with the midsection. I'm eating the same, and everybody told me this is, menopause situation, and I want to know what I can do eating wise to minimize the midsection spread.
Yeah, no, I understand. I get that question a lot, actually. And I don't think it's so much the menopause mid-spread. I think it's more that the way we eat as Americans is catching up to us. It takes a while. So my suggestion would be to chronicle, to journal what you eat, everything you eat and drink for at least 3 days. Because you'll think you'll remember, trust me, you won't. And it's important to see what you're eating over a period of days, how much of each thing, and when you're eating it. Are you snacking at night? Are you eating when you're stressed? Do you not eat for periods of time and then you eat a lot? I think that's really critical. So I will make available a food journal so that you can do that for yourself. And then I think the other thing is to, it always goes back to processed foods. All our ills, our inflammation, our chronic disease, our metabolic syndrome, always, 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 it goes back to processed foods. So my suggestion would be to look at how many things you eat during the day that have a label. How many things have a label? Because anything, and another thing, you can go through and check for anything with more than 5 ingredients. Go through your pantry, go through your fridge, because you want to limit. If you're eating stuff in a box, if you're eating stuff that's frozen, if you're eating stuff in a package, you want to limit that mile-long list of ingredients with stuff you can't pronounce that sounds like chemicals. So my guess is that if you get on more whole foods and can back off the processed foods, and I don't, do you eat a lot of bread, a lot of sandwiches?
Well, I've been laying off carbs. I actually don't really eat that many processed foods. I'm trying to think what I eat that's processed. Maybe occasionally crackers, those water crackers, whatever they're called. You get them at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
I do most of my shopping at Whole Foods.
Okay.
Not much of a cook. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. I just feel like no matter what I've tried, whether I'm having no carbs, whether I'm trying to do the protein, high on protein, it just seems like everything's going in a bad direction.
Yeah, I get that. I hear that a lot. I hear it a lot. So when you say you don't eat many carbs, how do you define carbs?
Potatoes, pasta. I know certain things like peas, corn. I know those are carbs.
Yeah.
More so. So not a lot of those. I struggle with what to have for breakfast.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, I have some suggestions for you. You ready?
I like I'm on the go, so it's hard to get. I don't cook a breakfast, so sometimes I'm like, what do I have for breakfast?
Okay. So do you like smoothies?
Probably not the smoothies that you're going to tell me to drink. I like fruit smoothies with yogurt and yummy things in it. Nothing with kale or any of that stuff.
Okay. So my suggestion, if you're on the go and you need something for breakfast, is to get, and I can post a link for this too. I need to write down what I promised to post links for. Otherwise I will not.
Before I forget, there's one. She's going to post a link to the smoothies. Well, how do you feel about intermittent fasting?
Oh, interesting question. I like it. I practice it. I have a friend who lost half her body weight. She weighed over 300 pounds and now she's down to 150 in less than a year and a half.
So what are the hours? Because I've been trying to do the 16-8.
Did you try it right out of the gate or did you work up to it?
Sorry, we're having a hard time hearing you. Can you
Oh,
turn up
really?
your volume?
Uh,
I have you on full blast on my computer and it's like, we can't really hear you.
really? Is that better?
No, not really.
Really?
Now it's a little better. Okay, go
It's a
ahead.
little better? Wow, well, let me take off the earbuds and see if that makes a difference. Is that better?
It's about the same, but I wonder if it has something to do with that.
I have that up as high as it'll go, John.
I know. We have the
Oh,
TV.
that's-
Okay. Anyways, we can hear you if we're both sitting here listening intently, which we
Okay.
should be.
So
But
now
I've been trying to do the
now I can't
16-8.
hear you. Now I can't hear you. So just make note of what I've promised to post, otherwise it won't happen. Okay, so for fruit. Honestly, Jen, you want to have berries and things like that. You don't want to have more fruit than you have vegetables because fruit, do you drink fruit juice? Good, because that'll pack it on too, because there's no fiber to slow it down. I would suggest that you make a smoothie with, there's a protein powder that I use. It is Nutiva hemp protein, and it does not have a taste. It has
I was gonna
no,
say, I normally hate protein powder.
yeah, no, I know. It does not have a taste. You really don't taste it at all.
Okay.
It doesn't have any additives. It's just protein powder. And I use that, and then you can add to that. And if you like yogurt, you might try backing off the dairy. And So Delicious has a coconut alternative yogurt. I know I buy it in Market Basket. I think I've seen it in Whole Foods.
Okay.
Try that, get off the dairy a little bit. And tell me what kind of fruits you usually put in your smoothie.
Well,
and how
honestly, I don't
much.
even have smoothies usually. I only did it when I was on another cleanse. It's not my go-to.
Okay.
So normally I've been skipping the breakfast because I've been trying to do the cleanse 12 to 7. I've been eating 12 to 7.
Okay.
So breakfast kind of goes out of the way.
Okay.
But honestly, I did that for about 3 weeks, didn't even lose 1 pound. I know you have to really stick with it. You got to be patient, and I'm not much of a patient gal.
I know that.
Rhonda, you've been doing it. Have you seen any success?
I lost 2 pounds.
She lost 2 pounds.
Yeah.
I have more to lose.
So I'm just curious what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah. No, I like intermittent fasting very much. I find that honestly, this winter, I've just been eating myself through the winter because it's been so darn cold. So I've kind of lightened up on myself with it, but I usually do 12-12. I do, and then I work up from there. So the best I have done is, and I'm so bad at math, is 15 off and 9. Is that 9? 15 and 9? 24.
Wow.
and 9 on. So I have not gotten to where you're trying to be. My suggestion would be to back off a little bit and don't make it so difficult for yourself. Maybe eat a little bit earlier. Start eating a little bit earlier if you comfortably closed your feasting window at 7, and do that for a while and then add another hour, and do that for a while and add another hour. Part of the problem with, and I hear this from people all the time, any kind of a diet or any kind of an effort to lose weight, part of the problem is that when we go into them, they're so restrictive or so different from what we ordinarily do that it's stressful. And it also is usually unsustainable. So we give up after a while. And the problem with that is when you go back to what you were doing before, you tend to gain the weight back and you gain more. And often that's because when we're trying to not eat something and we crave it, we binge on it. I mean, if you're saying, I'm not going to have cookies, I'm not going to have cookies, and finally you say, I'm having cookies, you'll probably eat the whole sleeve or the whole box. I mean, we've all been there, right?
Yeah, my trouble is I stay up so late that I start getting hungry.
Okay, how late do you stay up?
Midnight sometimes.
Okay.
So I'm just like, then I'm like, oh my God, I have to eat something because otherwise I don't sleep.
Okay, try this. Try a little pinch of Himalayan sea salt on your tongue when you get really hungry.
Hmm.
Oftentimes that will quell the hunger pangs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a way to
something
do it.
I'm part of an intermittent fasting group.
Himalayan salt, we have that.
Yeah, that's the pink stuff. I have
We,
to do that.
Yeah, it's the pink stuff. Yeah, it's the pink
that's what you're gonna
stuff.
give Bob when you see him downstairs. Do you have questions?
Yeah.
Rhonda's coming in.
I got a
What you got?
question.
Okay.
Have you seen what they're doing now? Instead of having bread, you take cheese and you make it in a pan and it makes like a flat wrap out of eggs. Any
Yes.
thoughts? Any thoughts on
Cheese?
that?
Yes. Cheese is delicious. I love it. It's in your best interest to back off dairy and gluten because it's a real sensitivity for a lot of people. It's one of there are seven. JJ Virgin has a list of 7. I never remember all 7 foods that are most most allergenic for people. Things like sugar, wheat, gluten, eggs, peanuts, dairy. So I think that you might be better off if you want to make a sandwich like that, going with something like an almond flour tortilla.
Okay.
Okay. And I've been buying them in Costco. They're siete tortillas, I think. And let me
Okay.
see if I can find a link for that online.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get away from, all bread. So,
Good. And that's good.
but
That's
I'd like
good.
to have like a hamburger.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would probably like these tortillas. They're good. I've been making, once in a while I do have cheese, and I've been making little roll-up sandwiches with them, and they're good. They don't taste like dirt, and the mouthfeel is pretty good, because some of this alternative stuff is really, it's disgusting. So it's hard to find things that, you can live with and that you can enjoy. So I would suggest trying that if you want a sandwich or if you want something like that. Once in a while, the eggs with the cheese, sure.
Okay.
You just want to make it more of an occasional thing rather than a habit. And we shouldn't eat the same things all the time anyway. So yeah.
the other things I like to snack on are like almonds, walnuts, and pecans.
Perfect.
All okay.
All good.
Okay.
Yep. All good. All good. And if you eat something like a piece of fruit that's going to, give you a glucose bump, it's always a good idea to have a few almonds along with it, because the fiber and the fat in the nuts will slow down the absorption of the glucose in your system. So that's always a good idea. Always a good idea. And also, have just a few nuts. Don't sit down with the bag. Take out what you want and then put the rest of it away.
What you
And
want or what you should have?
Oh, good point. Good point. What you should have. Thanks for the clarification, Jen.
I think I
Yeah.
want to have you make me a cheat sheet of like what a day would consist of to be, you know what I mean? To the choices.
I have that. Yeah, I have that. I have a 7-day meal program.
Yeah.
I have a 7-day meal program. Yeah. And I'm starting, I teach all this too in, I have a program, the Anti-Diet Solution. And I'll share with you some of the things that I do teach in that to get you started in the right direction.
I think it's just having to be easy and sustainable. That's it. That's the thing with me. Like I don't go grocery shopping all that much, so it has to be like I can easily do it. Otherwise I just throw in the towel. It's bad. Okay,
so here's another idea for you. I always keep a big pot of wild rice and quinoa or lentils in the fridge. I make a big pot of it and I put that on top of salads. I have it for breakfast. And this would be a breakfast idea or a lunch idea if you want to just throw it in, a container and take it with you. Just some avocado, a quarter of an avocado, diced up, and put some of the rice mixture on top of it, and just some salmon, maybe some salmon or You could even put an egg over it if you like eggs, and just take that with you and eat that. And I always have fruit. I have berries. You could just put those in on the side too. And that gives you protein. It gives you fiber. It gives you fat, healthy fat, because avocados are fruit, but they're healthy fat.
Mhm.
And you get your berries, which are really healthy. Those are high in antioxidants. And you get fiber from those too. And that would be easy to
right.
do
Oh.
because
She's pulling out her nuts.
what kind of nuts do we have today, Rhonda?
Yeah, we have these in the drawer when we need to. These are
Good
walnuts.
girl. Good girl.
No
Walnuts are
salt. These are stripped down.
I buy the
Good.
bags at Walmart. They're like a huge bag.
I don't like
Yeah.
walnuts.
You don't like walnuts?
I
I
do.
like only
They're-
almonds.
Oh, really? I like cashews. I don't eat peanuts anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can have a fungus that can be, not kind of good for
Fungus?
you. Yeah, there's a
You
fungus.
know how you just
among us.
talked about all those nice meals and they sounded so good?
Yeah.
Way too much for me to do.
Okay.
Being honest.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Okay.
I live alone.
Yeah.
What does she suggest you do for food then? If somebody
So-
that prepares it, where could she
Oh,
go?
so if you had a meal prep place, where would you say is good?
I'm looking into those now. I've been vetting those and I'm not ready to say which one.
I've tried like 5 and they all
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah. Which ones did you try?
Oh, what was that? What I said?
know.
Nature's Harvest,
Yeah.
the worst. That was the one I
Really?
gave you.
Perfect.
Oh, it was horrible. Nature's Harvest. Then I did the one where you
An Acton, Waco?
Waco.
And Acton?
They deliver. Now the only good part about that, it was real food and they delivered it, but it was not real healthy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, forget that.
That was expensive too. It was like going out to eat. Then I did another one. Oh, with the one that's like you prepare it a little bit.
Blue ribbon?
It wasn't Blue Ribbon, but it was like that.
Yeah.
And you pick your meals. I did that. That was gross. I mean, there's a real need for grab and go for people that are busy. To go to the supermarket to buy all that stuff, what I had for dinner last night, it was delicious. I had 4 eggs, a can of, I know, but I liked it. A can of, and I have high cholesterol probably in my family, a can of cooked mushrooms and a little bit of goat cheese. Yum.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
You don't like eggs? You have eggs?
It's a lot of eggs.
No, but
Ye-
Fries popped
I
out
know, why?
because that's a lot
Because
of eggs.
4 eggs, it was the amount.
Oh.
It was the amount.
But for dinner,
Yeah, I guess.
If you make a scrambled eggs, you're gonna use 3.
because if you have 3 scrambled eggs, it's like nothing.
Well, see, when I make scrambled eggs, I add almond milk. And that
You
makes
fluff-
them
yeah, you stretch it
lighter
out.
and fluffy, lighter, fluffier, so it looks bigger on the plate.
Does
I
that,
also,
does that get all eggish
No.
when you add that much milk?
no, I don't
What
add a
is it like?
ton. I add a little, it's light and fluffy. It's delicious.
Hmm.
Another hot tip with scrambled eggs, little nutmeg. Have you ever tried that?
No,
It's
I'm not a
delicious.
spice- Yeah, delicious.
Oh, it's delicious. It doesn't taste like nutmeg. Boom.
Right.
It just gives you a little, wow, it's a little
Some nights I have
explosion of
chicken and
flavor.
vegetables, but it gets really boring.
Yeah. Do you eat fish?
I like fish.
Okay. What about
I mean, I
canned
can
fish?
do it. It's really the breakfast and the lunch.
Yeah. I think if you try the smoothie, and you could either even make it the night before. Just throw things in, put it in a shaker thing and just shake it up the next day. But the hemp protein, and you could add spinach and you would never know it's there.
Oh, I'm not doing that. It's the color. It's the aversion. It's the color aversion. Ralph,
but
Ralph.
then
Calm
then
down,
you
pal.
then you add berries. You add frozen
It doesn't look pink and
frozen.
beautiful. It doesn't look pink and
Oh.
beautiful. It looks like throw up. I can't do it.
Okay, so this is how you handle that. You put it in a container that you
Oh.
don't see. You don't see the color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll.
I would challenge you to try that. Put a little
Well-
spinach in. I'm challenging you, Jennifer Spencer.
I've done it.
But in where you can't see the color, have you done it?
Remember when we did that fast, Rhonda, Ralph and I, we went to the place in Concord and did that whole Indian thing?
No, I didn't remember.
It was tough.
It was.
I-
Yeah. To me, I don't think smoothies fill me up. It's too much liquid. I need to
You need to
crunch
crunch?
something. I need to.
Yeah. Oh, this one will. This one, and you just don't put in as much liquid. You don't put in as much almond milk, which is how I make my smoothies. I'll tell you, I make, I do almond milk. You can throw in an avocado. Try that. Throw in an avocado. That gives it nice weight and texture. And add some berries and the hemp protein and just see how you like it with that. You know?
Don't you think it's hard to find avocados right now? They're
No.
Where are you getting them?
I'm getting them at Market Basket and Whole Foods and Trader Joe's.
The Market Basket ones are so small and hard.
Oh yeah, I rotate them so that they go in the fruit bowl from the fridge. So
Yeah.
every day I put one out so it's ready.
Yeah.
It's a process. You got to remember it. But you know, you get so that these things become a habit. And when you start to feel better and you start to lose that middle, it's very reinforcing. It's very reinforcing. But yeah, I'll post. I'll send out a link to Ask Cheryl Anything, and I'll post links to all this stuff on the website, on the YouTube. I'll put them in the comments
more
under the YouTube. Yeah.
Alcohol. If you're gonna drink, what's the best thing to drink?
Red wine and dark beer.
Oh, dark beer? It's so
Yeah.
What about
strong.
vodka?
Nah.
A lot of people drink that because there's
No.
no calories in it.
I
Vodka?
don't drink, so
Vodka.
Yeah, no, it's not that great for you. Any kind of hard liquor is not that great for you. Now, the people in the blue zones, where most of the people live to be over 100 and they're not, sitting in wheelchairs, either they're vital and some of them still work. They drink red wine and they drink dark beer.
that's
Like
not
a
a summer.
port.
Those are not summer drinks.
See, that's not an issue for me. I have friends who are like, you're drinking a porter in the middle of August. Yeah, it just never has been.
If you had to drink something delicious and light, what would it be? Like a skinny girl mojito or something?
I don't even know what that is.
I'm asking for my buddy who's going on vacation.
Oh, okay. I would probably do a white wine spritzer.
White wine spritzer.
White wine spritzer. I would do a Chardonnay or a Sauvignon Blanc with sparkling water, and I would do lime or mint or. Well, I'll tell you, when I went to Portugal, it was so freaking hot this one day, and we were hiking in this, I don't know what it was, but anyway, they had a little oasis, and we went in there and had water. It wasn't wine, it wasn't a spritzer, but it was so amazing. They had rosemary, and I think it was a slice of cucumber in this glass of water. It was infused with rosemary and a slice of cucumber. It was delicious. So that made me think that, putting rosemary or lemon or lime or, what else is good in something like that, Rhonda, is pomegranate jewels. That's really good. Sometimes another good light drink is a Prosecco.
Mm.
And if I have ripe blackberries, I'll crush up ripe blackberries and I'll put them in the bottom and then fill the glass with Prosecco. That's really good. That's really good.
So no lemon drops. No. What about
I don't even know what those are. I don't know.
Bloody
what
Mary
those-
wouldn't be bad.
Well, that's true. I mean, you got the vodka then, but if you, once in a while you can eat anything. It's when it becomes constant that you get into trouble. And that's true with everything. I went to a holistic chiropractor once, and he told me, I can't remember why I went to him, but he told me that once you clear out your system of the stuff that isn't good for you, that isn't good for you, not in general not good for you, but that you happen to have a reaction to, or your body goes, what are you doing? You can still have it once every 4 days without really messing yourself up. Now, I think that sounds like kind of a lot, But I will tell you that I do, I'll have a slice of bread once in a while, which I don't really eat. But see, I also, because changing my diet helped me disappear my depression. I kind of live in fear of being chronically depressed again because it's in my gene pool, and it's really nice not to be depressed. But yeah, so those are some drink suggestions. And, once in a while you can have something that's not necessarily in your best interest, as long as it's not all the time.
How often do you think people have to exercise to maintain their metabolism?
I think that if you do 3 times a week, you're probably good. Right now, I'm doing a half an hour, 5 days a week. And I'm feeling pretty good about that, but I know that people's schedule doesn't always allow, 5 days. But I think, 3 days a week, I think you're probably pretty good.
Half hour, 3 days a week.
I'm doing 50 minutes.
Well, that's good. You're good. You're good. Yeah.
Well, we've done a lot of brain picking on you, Cheryl. We appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by. I have a couple of questions before I sign off here.
I was excited.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing this every 2 weeks. So
I know.
So
So
try.
I'll have to take some of these recommendations and implement them into my nutty life
Yeah.
and see how it goes.
Yeah. Come back in 2 weeks and let me know.
Any more questions, boss?
I'm good.
She's good too.
Yeah. Don't forget to try the sea salt for when you get hungry in the evening.
I got to get some from you. Okay.
I thought that was nuts, and I tried it in the morning when I was, ready to gnaw my arm off, because when I get up, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to wait.
Right.
You can have water, you can have black tea, green tea, you can have black coffee. That's fine. But as soon as you add something with flavor or spices or something like that, that gets your metabolism going again, and you've broken your fast.
So all the fasting I've done is useless because I have that non-fat. I have non-fat, everything creamer. I know.
No. You have to be careful with non-fat stuff too, Jen, because when they take out the fat, they take out flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And what Big Food does is they add sugar.
Right.
And they add salt to replace the flavor. So you have to be really, really careful. Look at the nutrition and see what the added sugars are and see what the sodium content is.
I think I might be better off not doing the intermittent fasting and just do like a healthier day.
Yeah, try that. I mean, it's all about experiment. It's all about finding out what works for you. So, right. Try just making some changes in your diet and see how that works. But, if you feel like snacking in the evening, just try the Himalayan sea salt and see how that does.
All right,
I was really surprised.
Probably not going to cure my mental anguish of wanting a snack, but I'll try it.
Yeah, exactly. It cures the hunger pangs.
Yeah.
Step in the right direction.
All right, Cheryl, you're the best.
Good to see you. Stop by again.
I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So that was my friend and colleague from my real estate office, Jen Spencer, and her friend and colleague, Rhonda Sprague. So thank you to both of you for stopping by. I wanted to answer a couple of questions that people emailed me before I sign off. And let's see here. Okay, Yamika said, what kind of salt is the best to use? Well, we just touched base on salt when we were talking to Jen, relative to quelling hunger if you're trying to practice intermittent fasting. So the first thing, Yamika, I would say is don't use iodized table salt for a couple of reasons. First of all, we don't really need the extra iodine anymore. We get enough iodine in our diets now. Years ago, we needed iodine. Most of you, I'm sure, are too young to remember women with goiters. I remember when I was very small, walking downtown with my mother, there was a woman that we would pass on our walk on the sidewalk, and she had a huge growth on her throat. And my mother explained that it was a goiter, and I didn't really understand what it was or why it was, but it was a growth that was triggered by a lack of iodine. So what the salt companies did was they started iodizing salt, which at the time probably made sense. Now we don't need it, and you don't need the extra iodine. Another reason not to use regular table salt is that they tend to add sugar to keep it from caking. So check your salt. If it is iodized table salt, what I would suggest is sea salt or Himalayan sea salt. Himalayan sea salt is hands down my favorite. That's the pink stuff. And you can get it so it's finely ground. You can get it in crystals in a grinder, and you can grind that over your food. I actually have, trying to think if that's on my website. I will double check. But on thinstronghealthy.com, if you go to that main site, in the menu, I have a recipes section. And I'm pretty sure I posted a recipe for turtles there. You know, the chocolate turtles where it's chocolate and nuts like chocolate and pecans usually, but you can use different nuts. I've done them with pistachios. I've done them with pecans. You can do them with walnuts. They're really quick and easy to make. They're really good. And sometimes I just grind the coarse sea salt, the coarse Himalayan sea salt over top. Not only are they delicious, but they look really good. They look really fancy, like you paid a lot of money for them, but you made them in your own kitchen. So check out thinstronghealthy.com and see if you would like to try making the turtles. So Yamika, I hope that was helpful. You know, you can email me again at Cheryl@thinstronghealthy.com if you have a follow-up question to this. I know you couldn't be here today. And I have one more here. Barb says, when I lose weight, I always gain it back. Why is that? Oh, Barb, how much time do we have? That's really typical. You are not alone. I don't know of a soul who tries diets who doesn't do that. Part of the reason is because diets are designed to fail. Now, the diet industry is a $33 billion a year industry. They're making a lot of money, a lot of profit off us trying to lose some weight. Dieting is not the way to do it. They're unsustainable. They're unsustainable. So if you diet and you lose weight, you know how you get to a point and you just can't take it anymore? You can't do the diet anymore. I have a client who has told me in the past that she diets, she's really good, she loses the weight, and then she can't take it anymore, or she goes to a family function, or she goes to a wedding, or it's the holidays or something like that, and she goes off that really rigid diet, and she gets furious with herself, and she just gives up. And then she just eats everything in sight. So my suggestion is don't diet. Diets are unsustainable and they're designed to fail. And they don't teach you how to eat to be well. They teach you how to buy their food. So you go back to your old habits that got you into the weight situation in the first place, and that's why you gain it back. You also gain it back because your body is designed to save you, and when you continuously diet, your body gets the message that you're starving, and because it's designed to save you, it hangs on to that extra weight and it gains it back because it's trying to save you. That's your body's job. So instead of dieting all the time and trying diet after diet after diet, I want to invite you to join me in a program that I have. It's actually starting tomorrow, but you can join anytime because everything is recorded and posted on the website. This is not a hard sell push, but I invite you to check it out. It's the Anti-Diet Solution. And I created it because so many people came to me and said, diets don't work for me. I got to lose weight. I got to improve my cholesterol. I've got to lower my glucose numbers. What am I going to do? So I created the program, the Anti-Diet Solution. So if you want to, please check it out, theantidietsolution.com. You're more than welcome to join us. If you have any questions about it, you're welcome to email me again, Cheryl@thinstronghealthy.com. So I think that's pretty much it for now. I am going to post under the YouTube that will go on AskCherylAnything.com just as soon as I can render the video and get it up on YouTube. I'll post the links that Jen and I were talking about, Jen Rhonda and I were talking about, and email me with any questions. We'll be doing this every 2 weeks. So this is the 9th, so the 23rd of February. My math is not great, but yeah, the 23rd. We'll be doing this again at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So this is Cheryl A. Major with thinstronghealthy.com, and this has been the March 9th, 2022 edition of Ask Cheryl Anything. Thanks so much. You take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.